Hey everyone, Carolina Venom here. Today I'm taking a look at the ZTE Warp 4G. This phone is with Boost Mobile. I'm going to give you the rundown of the phone, some specs, run some tests, and tell you what I think about it, and all that good stuff. So we'll go ahead and get started. This phone is running Android 4.1.2. It's got a 4.5 inch display with 1280 by 720 pixels at 326 ppi. It has scratch resistant glass. It's got a 8 megapixel camera on the rear with LED flash and supports up to 1080 video recording. It's got a 1.2 gigahertz dual core Crate Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro Plus processor with 1 gigabyte of RAM and 8 gigabytes of built-in storage with around 5.5 gigs of user storage. It's got a micro SD card slot that will hold up to a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. Battery is a 2070 milliamp hour battery, and I am uncertain of the talk or standby time. This is a 4G LTE phone, and it also has a front-facing camera on the front right here. It's 1.2 megapixel, and it's pretty nice. This phone, it's got NFC. It's got lots of RAM, really nice dual-core processor, and has high pixel density and everything. It's just a really nice phone in general. Like I said, I'm going to take you around the phone. Like I said, your front-facing camera. Over here, you got your notification light. Down here, you have your back, home, and menu button here. On this side, your micro USB charging port, your volume rocker here. On top, you got your power button and your 3.5mm headset jack. Over here, you got your dedicated camera key, which is always nice to see. On the back, you got your single rear speaker, and up here, of course, is your camera and your LED flash. Back of it is blue, kind of a rubbery feeling. Feels really nice in the hand. Feels very sturdy. Don't feel like a very cheap phone. It's a very nice phone, in my opinion. Like I said, it is 4G LTE connectivity, and it is from Boost Mobile. Turn the phone on, and as you see here, the screen is very bright and very clear. I mean, very, very nice screen. 720 HD screen with very high pixel density. It's really nice, and you can see everything very clear. It's very smooth. Kind of reminds me of a souped up ZTE All from Virgin Mobile. Both of them are about equally fast. I mean, this one right here is a really nice phone, and I believe ZTE has came a long way in their phones. This one right here runs very smooth and has really no issues whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and run a benchmark test on this phone. Like I said, this phone is fast. Really has no lag to it whatsoever. It had, of course, it's not bogged down with apps yet, and I'm really not sure if you can move apps to an SD card. I've not tried it yet. I wouldn't be surprised if you can, but some phones can, some phones can't, so we'll have to just see how that works out here in a little bit. Actually, I won't know because I don't have very many apps on the phone downloaded, but I'll probably do an update video after I use this phone for a little while, because this phone is not even activated yet. I'm fixing to leave Virgin Mobile and switch over to Boost Mobile and everything, so I won't know until I really start using this phone a whole lot. But right now, this is just kind of like an introduction video, giving you the specs and everything, and just kind of checking everything out. So my device is coming in at 4,594. A little bit slower than what I figured it would run. The ZTE All, which has about the same processor, runs around 5,000, 5,100. So this is a little bit slower than that one, but it's got a bigger screen, and it is 4G LTE. But of course, these numbers do vary. I have done a couple of tests, and some has been 4,300. I've had them up to 4,800. But right now it's coming in at 4,500, so that's not a bad speed, and the phone does seem to work fairly well without much lag. And of course, the more you bog the phone down, which was 5.5 gigs of internal storage or user storage plus 1 gigabyte of RAM, it is going to run pretty smooth. And like I said, the phone's very smooth, has no problems at all. I'm hoping it gets an upgrade on the Android, but I'm uncertain about that because I haven't heard anything about any updates. Like I said, here's your menu button to go to your wallpapers, apps, and system settings. You have your recents button here. If you hold this button here down, it'll go to your recents and everything. But all in all, some of the pros on this phone is I have made a couple of test calls to customer service with boot on this phone, and call quality seems to be very clear and has no problems with call quality. The camera works pretty well. The 8 megapixel camera, it takes pretty good pictures. Pretty good video. Front facing camera is also good as well. No issues. I mean, of course, it's not perfect. It's not as good as some of the higher end phones with higher cameras, but for what it is, and it does take good pictures and good video. When I mentioned a while ago that this phone records in 1080, it does record in 1080, but the only problem is when you're indoors, it's only around 15 frames per second. So that's pretty low frameage, and you won't get the best recording with that. And outside and bright light, you're going to only get around 24 frames per second. So 720 is 30 frames on down, and it records in 720, 480p, VGA, and I think it's MMS. So it does have a variety. It's got an 8 megapixel camera with 6 megapixel widescreen, and like I said, it has flash and has a number of features on it. But right now, this is kind of an introductory look at the ZTE Warp 4G. After I use it for a while, I may do an update video on it after I use it for a couple of months and kind of give you an update and tell you how it's working. But anyway, got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. This has been a look at the ZTE Warp 4G from Boost Mobile. So far, really nice, smooth phone. Can't wait to start using it and see how it's going to work. So subscribe to my channel. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and we'll talk to you later.